Hey everybody, it's me here for Biography.com, and today we're going to look at the life of Bruce Springsteen. That's right, the boss. Let's take a look at his biography. Bruce Frederick Joseph Springsteen was born September 23, 1949 in Long Branch, New Jersey. His father, Douglas, was a bus driver, and his mother, Adele, was a legal secretary. And Bruce had two brothers, both named after famous people, Ving, like the actor, and Nick, like the singer. When he was 3 years old, his family moved to a middle-class neighborhood in Freehold, New Jersey, where he would grow up. When he was 16, his parents split up and his dad left the family. Bruce's brother Ving later said that it was one of the most traumatic experiences of his life. In fact, it affected him so much that he tried to kill himself by taking an entire bottle of his mother's sleeping pills. But thankfully, his mother found him in time and he survived. After high school, Bruce attended Ocean County College in Toms River, New Jersey, but he never finished his courses there. Instead, he focused on playing music. Bruce first started to play guitar when he was 14, inspired by Elvis Presley, and his mother gave him the nickname Boss, because he would always tell her what to do around the house. The name stuck and became part of his stage persona. He formed his first band called the Castiles while still in high school and continued to perform with them into college. But eventually he changed his name to the Bruce Springsteen Band. He was influenced by artists like Bob Dylan, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and the Who. But in the early 1970s, Springsteen began to develop his own unique sound. This is when he started writing songs about working-class people and the struggles they face. One of these songs, Blinded by the Light, became his first hit in the UK. It reached No. 1 on the UK singles chart in 1977, but it was as big of a hit in the US, only reaching number 38. Still, this song put him on the map in the UK and helped set him up for future success. In 1973, Columbia Records executive John Hampton heard Springsteen play live in New York City and signed him immediately. He released Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey in 1973, and the album went gold. It was praised by critics, but didn't really appeal to a mass audience. However, his second album, The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, released in 1974, fared much better. Critics liked it and fans loved it. It went platinum and established him as a major force in rock and roll. Springsteen then went on tour with Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. By the end of 1974, he'd developed a reputation as a charismatic performer. People would come to see him just like they did for Elvis back in the 50s. Unfortunately, the magic didn't carry over onto his third album, Born to Run. Despite being his best work, it didn't connect with audiences until 1975. Once it did though, it took off. It sold more than 30 million copies. The title track, Born to Run, became an anthem for a generation of disaffected American youth. Albums continued to sell well, with Darkness, On the Edge of Town selling over 20 million copies, and The River selling over 2 million copies. All three of these albums were produced by John Landor, who is also married to actress and activist Roseanne Barr. In 1980, Springsteen met filmmaker Brian De Palma and became friends. Soon Springsteen was asked to write and record a song for the movie. The film was called The Boss, came out in 1983, and soundtrack included the hit single Racing in the Street. The movie itself wasn't very successful, but the soundtrack went double platinum. Later in 1983, Springsteen played a small role in another movie, one called Reckless. He was good enough that several reviewers cited him as being one of the highlights of the film. During this period of his career, Springsteen suffered from exhaustion and burnout. He canceled tours, turned down offers to perform, and retreated to his home in California to rest. It was during this time that he wrote many of the songs that would make up his next album. Born in the U.S.A., it was released in 1984 and became the biggest-selling album of his career. It sold more than 30 million copies. Many of the singles on this album became hits, including Dancing in the Dark, I'm on Fire, Brilliant Mistakes, The River of Dreams, and Born in the USA. The album's political message was not lost on listeners either. In a retrospective review, Calm said that the album was a scathing indictment of Reagan-era America. Springsteen's next album, Tunnel of Love, was recorded in secret at his home. It was released in 1987, and its themes centered around love and relationships. It too was a commercial success, selling over 7 million copies. In 1988, Springsteen married actress Julianne Phillips. They divorced in 1989. That same year, he began dating actress and model Christy Brinkley. She starred in the music video for his hit single, and they got engaged soon after. But the engagement was short-lived and they broke up in 1991. That same year, Springsteen released Human Touch and Lucky Town, two albums that were not commercially successful compared to his previous work. In 1992, Springsteen began a relationship with model and actress Patty. They married in 1991 and have two children together. Throughout the 1990s, Springsteen released several albums that were critically acclaimed but weren't big commercial successes. These include 1992's Human Touch, 1993's Lucky Town, 1995's The Ghost of Sushi, 1996's Greatest Hits, and 1998's two versions of Ella's Story. He also released a compilation album of unreleased material called Tracks in 1998. On September 29, 2000, Springsteen made history when he performed the longest concert of his career. It lasted almost 9 hours and was played entirely acoustic. The show was in New York City and raised money for the World Trade Center, survivors and their families following the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. In 2002, Springsteen released The Rising. The album was inspired by 9/11 and other world events such as the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. It was a commercial success, selling over 7 million copies. Its first single, The Rising, became an instant classic. In 2005, Springsteen released a new album, Devils and Dust, followed by a world tour. The tour grossed over $200 million, making it one of the highest-grossing tours of all time. In 2007, Springsteen released Magic, an album of unreleased material. It became his one album in the U.S. It was also commercially successful, selling over 4 million copies. Springsteen's next studio album was released in 2009. Working on the album began in Hawaii and ended in New York City. It was produced by Ron A. Nilo and Brendan O'Brien, and featured most of the E Street Band members. The album was titled Working on a Dream and was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rock Album. In June 2012, Springsteen and the E Street Band played their first show in Australia. On September 21, 2012, Springsteen announced a Broadway show called Springsteen on Broadway. It opened in June 2018 and ran for more than 200 shows. In 2020, Springsteen released Western Stars, which was inspired by the concept albums of the 1970s. Then, in 2021, he released Letter to You. Both albums were produced by Ron N. Springsteen has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a member of the E Street Band and again as a solo artist. He's won 23 Grammy Awards, an Emmy Award, and an Oscar. He was also awarded the Kennedy Center Honor in 2004 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015. So what is Bruce Springsteen's net worth? According to Celebrity Net Worth, it's $500 million. So how much is Bruce Springsteen worth? $500 million. That's a lot of money. How much does Bruce Springsteen make per show? Well, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Bruce Springsteen's salary is $5 million per show, so he's raking it in every time he goes on tour. Today, Bruce Springsteen lives in Los Angeles, California, with his wife, Patty. They have 2 children together. He continues to make music and tour. His influence on rock music is undeniable. His songs have become anthems for generations of Americans, and his passionate performances continue to draw crowds of adoring fans. Well, that's all we have for you today about the boss, Bruce Springsteen. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos on great musicians. We've got one on Paul McCartney and another on Freddie Mercury. What do you think about Bruce Springsteen? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Also, if you want to learn more about Bruce Springsteen, check out the links below to our full biography on Bruce Springsteen. We've got lots of great photos and tons of information on his life and career. Thanks for watching. Take care.